Hello everyone, this is Darwell20 and welcome to episode 51 of Darwell20's Let's Play of FTP Evolution. Today, I want to do a quickie industrial foregoing setup. Only because I know we're probably going to want to get into industrial foregoing sooner than later. And because I'm also thinking we're probably going to want to get into enchanting sooner than later. And foregoing is just like, it's one of the best mods that can do like the disenchant and give me books so I can be really picky about what I get enchanting wise. So I want to get that going today. And I'm sure we're going to need it at some point for something FTP pyramid related. So my thoughts are like, let's pop into like one of our basements. Could I sneak this into like a 3x3 right here and be cool? I think I could do that, right? So let's real quick do that. Oh, look at you, you're all ready already. Okay. So ultimately what I'm gonna want is a little bit of you and a little bit of you. And you, and you're gonna go 1, 2, 3. You're gonna go 3. That should be cool. And then you can be like that. Are we out of cut cobblestone columns? We can't be, right? Oh, we are. We are. Cut cobblestone columns. We are out of them. Chisel. I really need a search in this thing. But like I said, they're at least in alphabetical order. Cut blank cobblestone. So like you just have to sometimes go down to, there it is, cut cobblestone column. Thank you. And I'm guessing we'll want surface 3x3 and fuzzy. Is that cool? Think so. Relatively. Maybe not quite as clean as I would have hoped, but I gotta fix the edges. All right, so it turns out because we're sharing a wall here, this border is just not going to allow to be existing, but that's okay. So can I cram, like super cram, into a 3x3x3 space? Like, here's my challenge, because I've done industrial foregoing many a time. And we know what we need, right? We need you. Oh, you know what else we need to do? Now might be a good time. So fluid extractor is definitely going to be a thing. Latex processing unit. I like having the quests in front of me, so I don't actually have to like be like, what are the name of those machines again? I got to add them all to the yeah. You know what I got to do though? I have to make more of these. So let's fix that real quick. That'll be a project for today too. Assembler matrix, right? So I should get more assembler matrix frames. Do I not have you on the autocraft list? I may not, on account of the fact that, like, yeah, we don't, do we? So that's extended AE. So we're gonna want assembler matrix frames. You do know how to make that, so that's good at least. Assembler matrix glass, which needs assembler matrix. Nope, doesn't need assembler. That's cool. And then pattern core, craft core, and speed core. I probably want all 3 of you, right? And then you guys are made in a crystal assembler. So you're also going to need to know how to do this and this. And we have matter balls, right? So we're cool on that front. So then you're also crystal assembler. Do you know how to do everything? You do, yes. You need to know this. But first I want you to know this and that. And you should probably know how to make that. And you can come from beetroot, which I just planted an episode or 2 ago. Hey, remember when I said I was having problems with this? Yeah, we're gonna have a problem like real quick, aren't we? Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. So you are the pattern core. So we definitely are going to need more patterns before we can get all this going. So not the end of the world, but like let's make sure that we have the pattern core thing ready to go. That again goes in the crystal assembler, which needs to get augmented. So let's get a pattern. This should be easy to do, right? Yes. Crystal assembler, wherefore art thou? Crystal assembler. That would be you. Okay. So then we should be able to make assembler matrix corners, which needs more entro crystals, which remind me, did I like do a thing with entro crystals? How did I do entro crystals? I must have set up something for that. When I do entro crystals, I usually automate it, don't I? I didn't just like one-off them, did I? Didn't I have like a breaker set up and crystals and the things, and am I crazy? Like I could add it here. When I set that up, did I not automate entro crystals? I mean, it's definitely possible that I didn't. Remind me how I get entro crystals again? So it needs entro dust, which comes from, yeah, entro crystals. That could be fun. Can I just make more of them with Fluix crystals? It does dupe them, right? And then I get the dust 1-to-1 from that. That could be a thing. Do we know how to make the dust? We do. Let's try that. Let's see if we can get that going. So you're saying I do this in a reaction chamber. Oh, you're going to need that too. We want one of you. So you're missing 64, but if I want 20, you're missing 32. But I thought you knew how to make entro dust. It's an entro crystal from entro dust. Am I not understanding this? Entro dust and Fluix dust. Can you not just make? Yes. We're missing 32 entro dust. Is it because it's a cyclical craft? It sometimes doesn't behave with that, right? But couldn't I just be like, hey, 32? And the crusher should make that nice and quick. And then if I ask for one of these, you should have no problem doing it. So what if I did this? Always keep in stock. Twice as many as I would need, right? What did you just do? How did that... What? What happened to my glass setup? Did you see that? That was weird. And I want you to make 32 at a time, right? I don't even remember what the glass was. I think it was 1024. I want you to do, let's say, 64 at a time. Okay. So now I should be able to tell you to make that, and then it should immediately make more, right? And start making entro dust to satisfy the demands, right? Now, what if I also said I'd like to have entro crystals, but I want 128 of those, 64 at a time, because the batch size is 64, right, when we craft? So like, will you always keep in stock if I turn you on? Right? So what I expect to happen is it's like, I'm going to use the dust to make crystals. I'm going to make my crystals and then make more dust, right? And then it's just going to cycle until it has enough of both. Is that cool? I feel like that's cool. Right? And now it's happy, right? But let's make that higher. Let's make that like 512, right? So then what it's going to do is it's going to use some dust to make the crystals, and then it's going to be like, I don't have enough dust. Better make more dust with my crystals. But it's a loop. So like, and we get more crystals every time. So like, yes, that should be fine. And I mean, like, unless we wind up using 512 crystals all at once, I think we'll be okay. And even if we do use 512 crystals all at once, we should have the dust available to make more crystals. Right? Makes logical sense to me. Okay, so then assembler, right? Give me like, maybe just 10 more walls and we'll see what happens. So entro infused ingots, we're going to use, some crystals and whatnot. It's all good. And it's like, oh, better make more dust and crystals. Because I am a smart system that Dyer built, and I automate. Cool, right? So, like, it's under 512, it's making more dust, it's going to turn dust into crystals, but then it's going to use some crystals to make more dust, and it'll just kind of keep wibbling back and forth until both numbers are above their determined threshold. See? See how that's working? And now we're above 512, we're currently making some crystals, and, like, Bob's your uncle. I love it. I love it. All right, so then give me some of you. So basically what I want to do is get more space here, right? So if I wanted to you know what I probably should have done? Oh, what is going on there? Do I have a desync? What in the what is up? Opening an inventory should fix whatever desyncs might be occurring. Holding shift seems to be helping. And now you're formed and happy? Okay, cool. Okay. What I should probably do is make the pattern cores. Assembler matrix walls. Did I not teach you that yet? I did not. Okay, so cool. Because I need this thing to exist in order for me to, do the thing. Now what I could do, because this should work. Cut. Paste. Yeah, cool. Right? And then it's just, boom, boom. Shift clicking is definitely the way to place these. Right? Now you're probably going to be grumpy because you're, empty inside. I don't think he likes empty space inside. But now we have a lot more slots. And now we can use those slots to make, even more things a reality, right? So that's cool. All right. So now that we've got that, the one last thing we're going to want to do is speed guides. You can make most of those things. You just need to know how to make red lumen balls, which luckily I just taught you how to make red dye. So we're cool. right? And then you go there. So now let's take an inventory of this thing and remember, because remember I kind of like had to like halfway it. So there's a couple purples in there, and then a lot of blues. So what I want to do is probably bump this up a little bit bigger and then have more slots. So let's remember exactly how this works. So matrix pattern cores gives you 36 patterns per core, right? So we probably want a few more of those even. Craft cores, which are the purple ones, will assign the received crafting jobs to each core. Each craft core will run 8 crafting jobs at a time. And then speed core is like the assembler. 5 speed cores allowed to run at full speed. So 5 speed cores I should make. We should make like... So if I wanted this to be a 3x3 internal, what I should do is bump it out to the left some, and then I would have, and that would give me 6 more slots. And if I bumped it up some, I would get 9 more slots. Am I right about that? So 5 here, and then 1 purple. Let's do 3 purples. Extended molecular assembler. And this was also a crystal assembler, right? So let's do... I think 3 should be enough, right? So I said 6 and 9, so that's 15. So I'm doing 8. So let's do 7 more of the blues. And then we should be cool. Too far, right? And then we're going to definitely want, like, to bump this out a little bit more. I want it to be higher and out to the side. So we should definitely get, like, maybe 10 more of these. Maybe 20. Can't hurt to go, well, I'll go with 10, and hopefully that's enough. Dyer's being cheap. And then 30 of you. Is that cool? And then look, the automation is making more crystal. That's cool. I like that. That is super cool. Right? And then eventually, and basically what it'll be is like we're gonna go higher a little bit and then extend it out a little bit. So I think I can make this work. All right, I need to do this magnet thing over here. I thought I had a magnet thing over here, but maybe not. I always get lazy with the demagnetization coils, and then I regret it because I'm like vacuuming up pumpkins all the time, and it drives me nuts. There you go. Okay. There you go. So hopefully I mathed this correctly. So effectively, we want it to be this. And then we'll put our 5 speeds in here. One of our these here. And then that's cool, right? So now it's 3 by 3 by 2 internal, but now I just want to move everything up 1. So what I'll probably do is cut and paste up, because that's probably a little bit cheaper. we'll just do up one Y level. And then if I put it there, right? How cool is that? And then you're just going to be this, this, and that. And then we've got room for 9 more things. And I mathed correctly because I've got 9 more things. Cool. I just need you guys here, here. Actually, no, you're good up top, aren't you? Okay. Yay, I mathed correctly. Ha, sweet. So now I've got the appropriate stuffs, right? And you should be online because you're connecting, like, you know, with that stuff directly. So you might have multiple connections, so hopefully that's not a problem. I think AE handles that gracefully. It's got to, right? I would hope. Guess we'll see if it doesn't, right? Seems to be fine. Seems to be fine. Okay, so cool. All right, now we can go back to, we've got plenty of things to make, and plenty of space to make them in. So we definitely want a few fluid extractors, right? So I'd like 3, 4, and then fluid extractors. And we'll do our standard pattern. That's right, you have to go. Can I rotate you with my wrench? Nope. I might have backed myself into a corner with this a little bit, but we'll see, right? And then we'll do a simple placer. Simple block placer. And acacia wood's usually the best. Usually I just kind of like start with a basic one and then we'll... Okay. And then you should be cool. Remember, if you put efficiency enchant on this thing, it heavily negates that whole setup. And if I upgrade it to Eclipsed here, I could put Insta Break on it too. So, no complaining about it taking longer to chop down a tree. No complaining. I don't want to hear it. That's balance, friends. I know Dyer's not always good at balance, but sometimes he tries. And it's less time than it would take to chop each block, you know, individually. Cool. All right, and then just Dyer things, energy transmitter and a flux point. Oh, good, you're already set up. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay, sweet. And then we're going to want a latex processing unit, which needs a furnace, which I should probably add to my autocrafts, but we'll do that next time I have to do an autocraft. Boom. And then you're also going to want a dissolution chamber, but that's going to need some plastic first. And then you need water. And we do want to run some cables over here. Now, in fairness, that should not be a problem. Cool. Definitely cool. Okay. So running cables, should be as easy as pie. So what we can set up here is basically how I want to do that. We're probably going to want to import export. Yes, let's do the import export doohickey ME import export bus. Remember how cool that is? I do like that thing. Okay, on the latex processing unit. And then your job will be to export water. Okay. And we better stage, well, I'm not going to stage them yet. I'll just do it after I get it, right? But you guys then are making this. Should we have plastic in a tank? I'm going to say yes. That's what I'm going to do. Let's have a tank. Let's get like a medium size, not that kind of tank, a fluid tank. One of these guys. Right. And then one of you guys, you can chill down here. And then, see, that's going to be a challenge because I want to make sure that we limit to how much we can export. Capacity card. That extends that. I don't think there's a cool way that I can do. What about other export buses? So we've got the stock export bus. Export an exact amount of the filtered stacks. It keeps track of the amount currently present in the target inventory and doesn't insert above that number. Not exactly what I want. Extended export bus, extended import bus, tag export bus, storage bus, mod export bus, precise export bus, precise storage bus. It will only insert up to that number. I want to keep in stock. I want to not be allowed to extract more than that number. I mean, threshold export bus. That's what I want. I want the threshold export bus. We could try that. Not sure I've ever tried this before, but we're going to try it. Okay. So basically what I'm going to say is threshold export bus, but I want it to be liquid plastic from Foregoing. Or how's this made again? Dry rubber, machine, latex. Latex, that's what I want. So like this. Let's make it 10. So if I'm understanding this correctly, and then we're going to want a storage bus, right? I should have this on AutoCraft, by the way. Another thing I have to fix. But you should be doing latex, right? So now if I get a bucket, and I put that in there, and then I filter you to latex, and then we cable this up. I do like how I randomly get eggs all the time. It's hilarious to me, right? Right? So now, then what we're going to want to do is probably, I'll just laser IO so I don't have to have 4 channels for pulling liquids out of these dudes. You know, I didn't have to use laser IO. I could just use mechanism pipes. That works, right? Let's do this. I'm going to instead do, and then mechanisms doohickey thingy, you. right? And you'll do the same. 1, 2. Then not to do no laser IO mess. Right? And then what I'll probably try is running this behind the wall a little bit. Actually, I think it's probably fine to do this, right? Yeah. And then you can have the storage bus like so. You can partition your storage, right? So you're getting that. I might run that a little cleaner off camera later. But so basically you shouldn't be doing that at all. Oh, but you know what your problem is? Yeah, you know what I can do is water. That should be fine. So it should be exporting water, right? It is. Sweet. Let me get some acceleration cards. So he's dumping water in there because we have more than a bucket of water. And he'll wait until we have 10 buckets of latex before he starts dumping latex in there. Is that cool? I think that's how that's going to work. And let's get that latex going sooner than later. Right? So as soon as we hit 10 buckets of latex, I assume the export bus is going to be like, I have more than 10, I export. Am I right about that? I guess we'll see what happens in like a moment. Right? So we're closing on 9. And then what happens? We're going to find out. Are you exporting? You are exporting latex. Nice. Cool. And then he'll keep 10 in there. That's cool, right? I like that. Oops, I didn't want to do that. What I wanted to do was make you 64. So get up to 64 and then export, right? It dumped a bunch in because it was at 1 for a moment. But then how big of a deal would it be to import bus on the side now? Because now I need an import bus for plastics, right? And now he should be importing dry rubber. Right? And then we've got dry rubber. Or whatever that stuff is called. All right, I bet. Yeah. Oh, I might have to do. Yeah, output left is allowed. ME import bus. Go on, you can import. It's fine. I know you're not out of channels or nothing, Chief. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're importing the water. So every tick, the import bus is importing the water. Now we filtered on what you're allowed to extract, and it's just dry rubber. Cool. All right, let's wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next time. When we get back, we'll have probably 32 latex and producing more dry rubber. We'll set up a little thing to auto smelt the rubber. You know, what I could do is like push the rubber, because the rubber should always be smelted. So realistically, what I should be doing is some kind of furnace whose job it is to auto smelt it. So maybe I'll do that real quick. We can do that. Why not? And then you, right? So then if I instead do this, And we could put a facade there. It wouldn't... Yeah, I could do a facade real quick, just to make things look cool. Right? Oh, so cool. Not that it's super needed because furnace in the way, but you get the idea. And then you can push to the top, and then your side config on the left will be output, and on the bottom will be input. And then when I insert you, I'll put split on, right? So then if I got a bucket of latex, right, you're going to start making, you're going to push your dry rubber into here, you're going to smelt, and then you're going to be import bust as plastic. And that, my friends, is automated. I like it. Okay. And then I can take my plastic and stick it in a drawer somewhere. And you will eventually can be voided, right? You'll hold 16,000 plastic and then void. I think 16,000 plastic will be enough. If it's not, we'll find out. And if you don't want to see these particles, you can turn them off. Super cool, right? All right, wrapping up point. Double 20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Next episode, we will do the dissolution chamber, which should be easy now. Might have to add some recipes to things, like whatever that diamond gear is, because I know I need lots of diamond gears. But yeah, for now, wrapping up point. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Oh, you need grains of infinity? Killing me, Smalls. Okay, I mean, we can make that happen. For now, take it easy.